Good day, everyone. Imagine the day when government cannot pay SASSA grants anymore. Now, this could happen for numerous reasons: funds running out, system collapse, system being hacked, many different reasons why government is unable to pay SASSA grants on a wide scale. Now, I will go through the scenario with you, how it will unfold, and what it would more or less look like in the South African context. And I have to say that around the country where people receive money, that there's certain spots where government actually knows that if SASSA money is not paid out in these spots, that they will be severely affected. Where people has a history of coming to the SASSA offices, maybe even rioting or threatening to burn down the offices, and these areas will be looked at first. But let's look at the scenario from day zero. So the first day that the South African government cannot pay SASSA grants, they are not going to announce it countrywide because they have looked at this scenario before. So they would have plans in place to actually try and deal with this, try and mitigate it as much as possible, and hope that they can get funding or a way to get their systems up and running as fast as possible, because in the end the payments still need to be made electronically or manually or whatever the case is around the country. So this has happened many times where government in one case withdrew SASSA grants from over 200,000 people, and they said it was because of fraud, that these people had to be verified and that these people weren't actually supposed to get SASSA grants. And at the time, you can just imagine, even if a person is fraudulently receiving 2 grants or has a job and doesn't receive the SASSA grant, even if they are fraudulent, it could still cause chaos. So you need to understand that at the time, it made huge news headlines, and there were issues around the country because of this. But because it was more spread over a wider area and most people did receive their grants, it didn't descend into chaos. So we know 200,000 people just being cut off did not set the country into a path of disaster, because if SASSA grants cannot be paid within a certain period in our country from the due date, day zero, okay, the country will descend into chaos and the government will fall. And this is the main crux here. So let's look at the scenario. And one of the scenarios is the government literally running out of funds, not having money to pay. In other words, if they don't get funding from somewhere, a loan from somewhere, it is just, they are going to come to a fall. So, say now you're in a small town, like where we are in the Northern Cape, many of the Northern Cape towns where a lot of people receive SASSA grants. 90% of the people in our community receive SASSA grants. This is how they survive, because there's just no work in the area, or very little. And the ones that work are the lucky ones. Those are the people that own normal private homes, where most of the other people are in RDP housing. And the Northern Cape RDP housing is far superior to anything you would find in the rest of the country. And these communities are very tight-knit. So they tend to look after each other. So imagine SASSA grants aren't paid out. The first thing these people are going to think, and this will be different in various areas in the country, is will it still get paid? Because initially there will be no announcement, sorry, you're not getting your money, we've run out of money. This is not going to happen. People are patient. In our town and many other towns, there are people that loan money to people from SASSA, so there's repercussions there. After the SASSA payments are made, they normally have to go and pay for their loan, and if they don't do that, they go straight from the SASSA office to the loan office. If they don't do that, there might be repercussions for them. So that might be a big fear for many of these people. So those that have SASSA debt, even when this is not supposed to happen, those people are going to become desperate, because the loan sharks, if they have gone to loan sharks, will come after them. If they've gone to a credible lender, they will might be taken to court if they don't make their payment on time. Okay, so people are going to stress about this because in smaller communities, people know each other, and this can really get out of hand. But the South Africans are patient. So things don't get out of hand immediately like it does in big disaster situations, large fires, floods, and things like that, where looting and pillaging can start within 2 hours, okay, especially by criminal elements trying to see what they can score out of houses or whatever the case may be. This happens in South Africa like clockwork. I mean, you will see stealing happening at roadside accidents. If a truck breaks down next to the road that has produce on it, that truck can get stripped completely bare of all of its supplies and items on the truck as well, like fire extinguishers, tires, etc. But around the world, during natural disasters, people will start looting and pillaging within a 6-hour period, and you would normally want police on the streets to try and regulate that. But those will be localized events. A SASSA payout is a national thing. So we don't have enough police and enough military to control people that start getting impatient. So the moment this happens, Stratcom or Strategic Command, the police headquarters where they look after situations like this, will have a plan implemented to try and work with hotspots. If there's some SASSA money still available, the government will pay it out strategically to areas where they expect rioting first, where they expect people to burn down the SASSA offices or start to loot. And they will do that strategically. And the intelligence services and the police will be involved in this decision making. I can also tell you at this stage, on the first day, there will be people, public servants in parliament, etc., that might start leaking information to the media saying that, listen, there's no money for SASSA payouts, especially in a situation like a GNU where information might leak to other parties and they are always going after each other. So information might leak. If it hits the mainstream media and they actually decide to publish this story and government doesn't put an outright ban on information like that, chaos can ensue in vast areas in the country at once. But let's look at the building scenario where it starts in certain areas where people would be more placid, where you don't see rioting, burning of tires and things like that. Those areas would not get their grants paid. And the areas where people regularly rise up against the government, those areas will get their SASSA payouts first if there is money. So this is a gradual collapse in this scenario. If there's no money and no one gets paid, by day 2, there will be widespread rioting if this hits the media. Because the people will go to the SASSA office, they will expect to have their money. If they don't get their money within 24 hours, they are going to go boss. And, I think the first places that will burn are the SASSA offices. And then municipal infrastructure could follow after that. Now, what will public servants do? MPs in parliament, ministers, etc., when this starts on a countrywide scale? Many of them might resign, and many of them might flee the country or go to a place they consider safe. Because I can tell you that a place like Parliament in Cape Town or the Union buildings will be under siege. So you will have police typically trying to protect national assets like that. So you will have a police force deployed within the first 24 hours. You might even have the state president declare a state of emergency and send the military to protect assets like that. They could also put extra security in place for ministers and other public servants. But there's only so many people you can cover under these circumstances. And when half the country's adults, which is the current case with SASSA, don't get money that they depend to live on for a month because the state has caused dependency on the state, um, the government hasn't got much time left. So by the second day, you will have places burning. Um, Not just that, it will now spill over into the rest of civil society where shops get looted because people need to have food to eat. So, in smaller towns, you will first see, and I mean, people like Gift of the Givers is not going to be able to deal with a situation like this and save the day. Like with disasters, it's just too big and too vast for any well-intentioned NGO to try and actually help and assist in a situation like this. So in communities, I believe that many shop owners would actually, to try and quell the situation, try and use the stock in the town to help the people. That's typically what would have to happen if they don't want their businesses looted and pillaged. And some people might decide to do that. This has certainly happened in the past in South Africa, where people know, listen, it's better that I help people than my place getting ripped apart and looted and pillaged for my business sake. So things like this might happen. But in most cases, people are going to try and lock down their businesses and try and protect them. It's not going to work. If people are hungry and they actually need to be fed, and this is a real crisis, it's not about criminality. It's a systemic breakdown. People will do what they have to, including you, including me. We will do what we have to feed our families. And this is normal. This has existed throughout the ages. And if you have to club someone over the head to get something that person hasn't got, it could even get that far eventually. But on the second day in South Africa, we would be in chaos with regards to people realizing, especially if it's hit the media, that something's wrong. They're not going to get their money, and they are going to go to where they can find the produce that they used to buy in the past, and they'll typically go to those shops. And people might go to those shops in gangs, I mean large groups. If the media does not leak this story, it might take longer because these people have waited for SASSA grants in the past, sometimes a week, sometimes even a month, having patience. And this is when other people are still getting their grants. So it's not a vast, no one gets paid. Because these SASSA people know each other. They stand in queues together. And if the word spreads that there is no grants being paid out, and they find out via the grapevine around the country that it's not coming, even if the media doesn't spread the word, I believe by the third day, the pauper will hit the fan. In other words, people will start to get the produce they need. It'll look very different in smaller towns like where I'm at in the Northern Cape to cities. In cities, it will spill over into not just getting food from shops and shops being looted. It'll expand into looting of anything. Very much what we saw in KwaZulu-Natal. And TVs, couches, fridges, washing machines, tumble dryers, anything will be up for grabs. And that will be impossible to police. So the police will not be in a position to look after that situation. We don't have enough police in Cape Town or in Durban or in Joburg to stop all the people from doing what they are doing. And this is why the SASSA grant scenario is so important to understand. Because there's nothing the government can do. They will collapse. Within a week, the government will be gone. Completely and utterly destroyed. And if someone else doesn't step in from outside the country, a coup will take place probably by day 4 or 5. So if the information leaks to people in Parliament, for instance, you will see people either in the military or people in some civil organization trying to get control of the government, trying to get control of what is happening. Cyril Ramaphosa will be powerless, so will his ministers, and they would probably be safer off going into hiding at that stage, if they haven't done it already. So a foreign government might intervene and say, listen, we will help you guys. We will give you the money so you can pay these people grants. But all of government needs to resign, and we are going to put a new government in place, people we choose to put there. And this is a very likely scenario, and I think many countries are already looking at scenarios like this. The US certainly is one of those countries, I know that for a fact. They might intervene in South Africa in a case like that, where they put something new in place. They might even decide that to do it regionally, like the Western Cape, for instance. So when a country, and just to know that the international financial institutions are aware of this risk, because we've been very close to not being able to pay SASSA in the past. It's not like we're sitting with a bulk fund that can last so many months. And as the tax income is diminishing and people are fleeing the country, and there's many articles related to this, I'll put them in the description below this video, as well as in the first comment, so you can go and see how fast the rich are fleeing South Africa at the moment, for you to understand how real the scenario could be, even in this year or the next year, depending on government funding, how long people keep on paying their tax to a point where government can still pay SASSA grants. Now, the one thing they know that they have to pay is SASSA. They know they can cut on everything else, and they will cut down on hospital funding, they'll cut down on military funding, they'll cut down on everything. They know if they don't pay SASSA, it's finished, okay? The government is over, the GNU is over, all of it is over. There will be a new dispensation starting. What that will look like, I cannot tell you, because if you don't have people to fill the void, you're sitting with the same situation still, because if these looters and pillagers in our government that have stolen us dry are still in the country, they will do the same again, just in the next organization. These people are career politicians. They don't know how to make money outside of politics, and they are very good at getting their salaries and making sure their families are looked after as well, even in a bigger way, and then they get backhands. So SASSA is the biggest indication of how soon this government will fall. If it doesn't fall politically, it will fall financially. And the day SASSA grants cannot be paid, we will see widespread chaos. If it's in the media, we will see it within the first 24 hours. If it's not in the media, by the third day, a total breakdown will start. Now, what will the police do during this time? The police will try and see to very specific areas, hotspots, like I've said before, and they'll try and control the people. You might have military vehicles sent to these hotspot areas as well, and places where people would typically be more placated and be more calm. It's not going to help, because in every town there are people that's not going to be patient, and you just need a few to start looting and pillaging, and the rest will follow. I mean, when you're hungry, you're going to try and look after yourself, and if that shop front has been broken open and people have already taken stuff, other people will help themselves, especially if the community decides to do it together. The people will always be the government, always will have the final say, and as much as government tells you that they're in control, they're in charge, that has never been the case throughout the history of the world. Throughout the history of the world, empires have fallen through people, not militaries and many other things. When people decide that they don't want the status quo anymore, they will change it. Tell me in the comment if you receive a SASSA grant and if you depend on it, and what you would do if that grant is not paid and other people can't help you and you don't have access to food. What would you do? Can you blame people? What we can blame is a government that's made most of the country, most of the adults in the country, dependent on a grant system, instead of putting the things in place for them to become self-reliant, independent, strong citizens. And this will be the government's downfall. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not yet, and click the bell icon so you can get notifications for future videos. And please consider becoming a member on this channel. Every Thursday evening at 8:30 we have a members live chat, and I go through documents there that explain the future plans that have been laid out, not just for South Africa but for many other places in the world, and you'll be able to be a part of those chats, listen to those documents being discussed, and be part of a community where we understand the threats in the country and we are trying our best to do things to mitigate them. Thank you so much. Till the next video.